Good morning, vinyl community. It's Phil from Fraser Valley in British Columbia, Canada. I've had a busy weekend with videos. My wife was out of town at a baby shower up in the interior of the province. Gives me some time to do some stuff, and including yesterday going out vinyl shopping with a buddy of mine, Paul. And we hit 2 record stores, went to the pub for wings and a meat draw, and had a great day out. No, not that I don't, I love my wife, but every once in a while it's nice just to have a weekend to do whatever you want to do and get out and not work on the house, not go to planned places and parties and stuff, and just it's nice just to kick around and do whatever you want. But she's back in about 5 hours. She's on her way home, and looking forward to seeing her again. But I'm going to go over what I got yesterday. So we went to 2 stores. One is in Surrey called Innovative Audio. And they do a lot of stereo repairs and sell revamped equipment, but they also have a good vinyl selection. And they recently bought, earlier this year, they bought a fellow's 40,000 piece vinyl collection that they've been slowly meeting out into their stock. As stuff sells, they put a couple hundred out at a time, it seems. And I managed to get a few from there. Some of them are not always in the best condition. They have an as-is bin. These albums have ring wear, or they might have some slight scuffing, but like most really good record stores, they have a 4 turntable set up there with headphones. You can go and just spin an album and listen to it if you're not sure what it is, or if you want to see if it plays. They got a cleaning station there. You can clean the album, then put it on the turntable and spin it, see if it plays okay. And really great shop. So I got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 from there. I'll show you what they are. I got 2 Alice Coopers, which I didn't have in my collection, and that is Alice Cooper Goes to Hell and Killer. And they're both in really good shape. They're both in the as-is bin. They got some ring wear, but the vinyl's in really great shape, and that's what I really care about, because I buy my vinyl to play and listen to. I don't get all that much chance to do it, unfortunately, but once I've done this video, I'm going to be playing vinyl all day until my wife gets home, and then I gotta make sure dinner. She'll be tired after her long drive. It's about 5 hours from where she is. That's the back of both the albums. I'm sure most people have these in their collection, but I've got a renewed interest in Alice Cooper. He's coming to town in April, and I have tickets for it, and I've never seen Alice Cooper live. Another one to knock off my bucket list of groups I really want to see. And I also picked up this in the as-is bin, and this is B.B. King, Midnight Believer. I don't know the album. I don't really know any of the song titles on it. There's the back cover. But it's B.B. King, and you can't go wrong, right? The guy's just was a legend, I'm sorry. He is still a legend. And this is an album I used to have once upon a time, and I think it's one of those ones that I took to a party once, and it never came home with me, or it got damaged or something like that. I can't really remember what happened to it. But that's Crocus, One Vice at a Time. A little bit of metal there from the, I think this was 80s, I'm sure it was. But they're a pretty decent group. I liked them. They had a couple of FM radio hits back in the day, and yeah, Long Stick Goes Boom. That was some radio play. To the Top, I'm on the Run. Yeah, I know. I remember this album. That was a pretty good album. So I got that for $5. That was a pretty good score. Don't often see metal albums anymore. I don't know what it is like where you are, but the metal and the hard rock stuff seems to be increasingly hard to find. People are hanging on to them, not getting them out for sale. And generally, when they are for sale at all these vinyl swap meets and shows, they're generally expensive. I also got Triumph Classics, good Canadian band from Ontario, and this is Greatest Hits album. Vinyl's in great shape. This again was in the as-is bin, and that was only like $6, I think it was. I'm really looking forward to that, because I have a couple of these songs on other albums, but looking forward to playing that one. And I managed to finish my BTO collection at last. I've been looking for this one for ages, and again, this is one I used to have years ago, and it just never materialized, blah. And that's BTO Live in Japan from 1977. There's the back cover, the guys on stage, and a nice gatefold on this. Really nice, colorful gatefold. And I remember I really enjoyed this one, and I don't know, again, I just never take albums to parties anymore unless I'm the only one playing them. You know, if I do my DJ thing at whatever parties we go to, no. Only myself handles albums at a party now. And from that store we went to the pub, and we had wings and beer for lunch, and had a meat draw, and I won some chicken breasts, and gonna have that for supper tonight. Cook that for my wife when she gets home. And then we went up the street, to a store called Urban Safari. And this is not a thrift store, but it's a charity-run store, and most of the proceeds go towards helping wildlife and animal farms and animal welfare organizations. That's the phrase I'm looking for. And I had a really good day in there. I spent way more money than what I wanted to spend, and I'm sure I'll hear about that when my wife gets home and looks over the bank account. What did you do? I can just hear her saying it now. How much money have you spent on vinyl records this year? Well, it's my hobby. It's my one hobby. It's my one vice. I don't have a plethora of things I do outside of the home, so this is what I do. Right? I collect vinyl, and I had a really great day in there, and I'm just peeling off the price stickers that they put. Luckily, the store puts them on the sleeves, outside the protective sleeves, and not on the albums themselves. I hate it when they put stickers on the albums themselves. But this store is really cool. They give you the outer liner plastic sleeves, and I just gave a hint of what I got there. Zeppelin, Into the Outdoor. In my opinion, one of their best albums. In my opinion, I love the thing. I don't know, it seems to get a really bad rap. A lot of people just don't like it for whatever reason, or at least rate it low in their discography when they're rating the Zeppelin albums. I love this album. Yeah, it's different, but I love this album. I think In the Evening is one of their best tracks. I love that song. But this is Into the Outdoor, and notoriously came with 6 covers, which were all hidden in brown paper bags, so you couldn't see what you were buying. And I have 3 of them, and I managed to find the last 3. And they had 2 in their bin. And these are covers B and F, which I didn't have. Each one has a different cover, right? Everyone knows that one. But as I'm standing there waiting for my buddy Paul to finish doing his shopping, I went through a bit quicker than him because he was chatting and schmoozing with the young lady who works there. So I'm standing around, looking around, and just following around, looking around the shelves, and I happen to look up at their upper rack close to the ceiling, and what do I see? Another one. And I think, oh, God, I've already paid, I've already spent a ton, I gotta at least have a look at what it is. And this is cover D, the last missing cover. So I've got all 6 covers now. That was a nice one to stroke off my list. The only issue I have, they're all all 3 in excellent shape, but the only issue I have is these 2 were missing the brown paper bag. So I see this album a lot. I see this album a lot at the vinyl fair, so next time I go, I'm going to have to buy 2 copies, hopefully in crappy condition, so I can just get the brown paper bags so so they're complete, because they should have the bags. Then I went through their, I'm still going through their thing, and again, another sticker. Like I said, they put this on the plastic sleeve. Should have peeled these off yesterday. And I saw this, and this is a band that Matt Hayes, I think at 33 RPM, and Pete Pardo at Sea of Tranquility put me onto by watching their videos, and this is Hawkwind. And I never heard of them until I got on YouTube, and this is the great thing about this vinyl community. You get on here and you learn about bands you don't know, you never see, you never hear of, don't get radio play necessarily. And this is Hawkwind, and I really got into this band, and this is In Search of Space. And these guys are terrific. And this is a really cool packaging on this one. The cover sort of splits open. See that? The cover splits open like that, so then you got the inner sleeve, and the inner sleeve drops down because the guy's in the band, and that drops down to another gatefold portion. Get that out of the way. And then there's the album in there, and the album's in great shape. This was not a cheap buy. Auckland albums are notoriously hard to find, it seems. Whenever I mention them to record stores, go, oh yeah, well, when I do get them, you know, they go really fast because they're really one of those obscure, sought-after bands, it seems. At least in our area, they're obscure anyway. You never hear these guys on the radio. I've never heard of them. Till See Tranquility did a nice video on them, and wow, I love these guys. And I should have organized this before I got on. My apologies. And then I got two new vinyl, and then I'll get into the dollar bin stuff. And this is one from Rush that I've been missing for a while. I don't have a lot of their newer albums, like their last 7 or 8, because they all came out in the CD era, and now they're out on vinyl. And if I can find them reasonably priced, I'll buy them. And by reasonably priced, I mean 35, 40, 40 bucks, something like that. I came on the other day and I said I was in Sunrise Records in the local mall and picking up the 3LP 40th anniversary edition of Hemispheres. Great collection. And that was 65 bucks. But, you know, I wanted, and I consider that reasonably priced for 3 brand new albums. But, you know, they have the 5LP Clockwork Orange tour, 170 bucks. And it's just, you know, it just goes on and on like that. But this was only 35, and I thought, well, I want it. It's here. I'm going to get it because I have never seen it on vinyl before in the store. And that's Presto. I don't know much about this album, I'll confess. There's the back. And paper sleeve, the lyrics, and 3 hands, one from each of the band members, I guess. I'll have a look at this later, but I'm really looking forward to playing that. I will eventually knuckle down and give in and buy all of these Rush albums, the later ones that I'm missing. And yeah, one day I just can't do it all at once. I couldn't afford to spend that kind of money all at once. And this one, I don't seem to have my X-Acto knife handy to open this one. This is still in the shrink wrap. This is brand new vinyl. And this is Southern group Blackfoot. This is Train, Southern Rock Live at the Mountain Arts Center in 2007 in Prestonsburg, Kentucky. I'm really looking forward to hearing this. Blackfoot is another one of these cool hard rock bands from the 80s, 70s that's just impossible to find albums of. And this album is from, well, it says on the front, didn't it? 2007. So they're still out there touring, I guess, but they were big back in the 80s, it seems to me, and late 70s, because I have a couple of their albums that were, that I still have, original ones from first pressings, and that's a pretty cool cover in the back. So I'm looking forward to hearing that, because they have another album, Highway Song, which is a live album. I can't find that. Really hard to find. And then at the same store, they've reorganized the store, and they used to have, you know, used albums at whatever price, and now they've just changed it all and just gone with a dollar bin. So everything in this bin is $1, and I got 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 in varying states of condition. Local musician, he was out in the 80s, and that's Doucette, his first album, Mama Let Him Play. That was a big song, that was his major one hit. And All I Want to Do is on this. That was a good song as well, that got him some airplay. Down the Road, that got some airplay here too. He's a local guy. I don't know how well he made it outside of the local area. But I was happy to get that for $1. For whatever reason, I didn't have it. And then I'll leave those couple to last. Then I got for $1 Double Live Grand Funk I've been looking for a good copy of this for a long time. I can't find it in good condition. And they had like 9 of these things in their dollar bin, and in varying states of condition. So I pulled out every single one, set up further down the way away from people looking, and pulled out the 2 best vinyl albums I could find, and the best jacket. The jacket's got a lot of ring wear. I mean, this thing's being played apart. It's just got miles on it. And this is a gatefold. I love Grand Funk. I give up trying to find this in good shape. So the jacket I will settle for, but the vinyl had to be in good shape. And it's a little bit dusty, but I did manage to spin it on their turntables inside the listening station, and it plays well. It needs a good cleanup. I'm going to clean it up again. I cleaned it there and then played. I'll clean it again before I put it here on my turntables. And then I got ELO, El Dorado, a symphony by the Electric Light Orchestra. Pretty cool cover. Dorothy in her ruby slippers. I've got to glue the jacket. The jacket's come apart, but you know, it's a dollar bin. What do you expect, right? And the album's missing the paper sleeve, but I have extra clear plastic sleeves. But the vinyl is in good shape, and that's again what I really care about. I will eventually find an upgrade cover, but this is on my list of yellow albums I didn't have, and yeah, as you can see, the album cover got Scotch tape on the bottom, so I'll eventually upgrade the cover, like I said. But for now, I'll repair it so the album doesn't fall out. That's what it's trying to do right now. But once I put the outer sleeve around this, it'll be fine. And I don't know anything about this album. My buddy says it's really different. He says it's just a different album. And he says this is not a party album. He says this is something you just put on and just sit back and listen to, and all alone and it's quiet. So I'll give that a try. And I got 4 more out of the dollar bin. Canadian folk legend Gordon Lightfoot. Pardon me, I'm reading the album title. Gordon Lightfoot. Everyone sort of rolls their eyes. Oh, Gordon Lightfoot. Oh, he's so Canadian. Yeah, well, I like him. He's a storyteller. And this is Shadows. It's a 2 LP set for $1. The album's jacket's in pretty rough shape again. Out of the dollar bin, it's got something was stuck to it and torn off. And I may or may not eventually get an upgrade jacket of this. But it's got both albums. Only one lyric sheet. The other one's just in clear plastic. So if I ever find another copy of this, I will look to see if I can find the other lyric sleeve. And I'll put both of them in. I'll put the other one in a plastic sleeve as well. Then again, out of a dollar bin, what do you expect? Another one without the sleeve in it. But the vinyl's in good shape. And that's Don Quixote. Really good storytelling album. And if you're Canadian, you probably like Gordon Lightfoot. If you're not, you may or may not. That's Dream Street Rose. This is a promotional copy, not for sale. Thought that was pretty cool. It's not worth anything, you know, but still pretty cool. And yeah, this has a lot of songs on it that I know. And the last one, and this is a weird one. I don't really know anything about this album. Have you ever gone to a record store or flea market or a record swap meet or one of these vinyl trade shows, and you see the same album all the time? And I'm not talking Rumors or Hotel California. I'm talking something bizarre that you just happen to see everywhere. It's like the album follows me. And this one's followed me. Everywhere I go, I see this album. Every swap meet, every blah, 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 everything I go to, I see this album. And I thought, the hell with it. I'm going to buy it. It's $1. It's in the dollar bin. I'm going to get it out of there. Maybe it'll stop following me now. And I don't really know anything about this, but this is The War of the Worlds. Jeff Wayne's musical version. And well, I don't know what type of music this is, or if it's just there's no lyric sheet. There's no. It's a double album. Cool. Jacket's pretty beat up, but I'm just tired of seeing it everywhere. Stop following me now. And I will give this a clean and a play and just give it a try and see what it's like. I may just very well end up donating it or tossing it. I have no idea yet. But I thought, for $1, I'm going to try it. I've seen it so many times. And the young lady at the checkout who really enjoys her job. Boy, she loves that. She loves working there. She had Miles Davis kind of blue playing in the background. She was just grooving along to it, and then she put on Sweet Desolation Boulevard. She was bopping around to it. It was really having fun. She says it's the best job she ever had working in this store. She must be all 22 or 23, something like that, I'm guessing. But she was very helpful. And she says this is a pretty cool album. And she says if I want to stick around, she can put it on for me and play it. And I says, no, for $1, I'm just going to take my chances. That may be the first thing I put on and play out of all this bunch, just to get it out of the way and see what it's like. I may only last a track. I may enjoy the whole thing. Who knows, right? So that's what I've got. I spent enough money on vinyl for the foreseeable future, so I got a big backlog of stuff that I've got to play. I've got about 30, 40 albums here that I haven't played in a while. I've been behind on my vinyl spinning, so I'm going to go and do that. And then we will talk to you later. I hope you all have a good day. Bye.